The general term agglutinin is used to describe the antibodies that agglutinate the particulate antigens. When the antigen is RBC, the term heme agglutination is used. All antibodies can theoretically agglutinate the particulate antigens, but IgM, that is immunoglobulin M, due to its high valence, is particularly good agglutinant. Principally, agglutination reactions are similar to precipitation reactions. They also depend on the cross-linking of the polyvalent antigens. Like excess of antibody inhibits precipitation reactions, such excess can also inhibit agglutination reaction, and this inhibition is termed as the prozone effect. The antibodies that bind to the antigen but do not induce the agglutination, then they are called the incomplete antibodies. For example, immunoglobulin G class. When the antigen is an integral part of the surface of a cell or other insoluble particle, the agglutination reaction is referred to as direct agglutination. When the agglutination reaction takes place between antibodies and soluble antigen that has been attached to an insoluble particle, the reaction is referred to as the passive agglutination. Then, the applications of agglutination reaction are as follows. Now, what do you mean by heme agglutination? This is probably the world's most frequently used amino acid. It is used for the ABO blood group typing. In this assay, donor's blood, that is RBCs, mixed on a slide with antisera, that is the antibodies to the A or B blood group antigens. If the antigen is present on the cell, they agglutinate, forming a visible clump on the slide. As to counter-check, donor's blood is also examined for the presence of any antibody in the blood against its own antigen. If a donor does not contain antibody against his or her own ABO antigen, then it is safe for transfusion. But if antibody is found, then there is either error in assay, or the donor is making antibodies against self antigens, or that process is called as autoimmunity. Then after reconfirmation of results, such blood is not used for blood transfusion. This is the heme agglutination. Then the last is the bacterial agglutination is used to diagnose the infection. Upon infection, antigens present on the surface of the bacteria, they often induce the production of antibodies. तो जैसे मैंने बताया कि स्पेसिफिक टाइप का एंटीजन जो है वो स्पेसिफिक टाइप के एंटीबॉडी के साथ में ही अटैच होगा. तो स्पेसिफिक टाइप का एंटीजन जो है उसकी सरफेस पे जो कुछ भी अगर सोचो बैक्टीरिया है, सो दैट विल इंड्यूस दी प्रोडक्शन पर्टिकुलर टाइप का, उसी पर्टिकुलर टाइप के एंटीबॉडीज़ के साथ में ही वो अटैच होगा. तो उसके लिए वो क्या करेगा, जब एंटीजन उस होस्ट की बॉडी में एंटर होता है तो वो स्पेसिफिक टाइप का एंटीजन जिसमें एक्सटर्नल सरफेस पे बैक्टीरिया है, तो वो बराबर उसी टाइप के एंटीबॉडीज़ को फॉर्म करेगा, वो इंड्यूस करेगा ब्लड में the production of antibodies, and the presence of such antibodies, they can be detected by the bacterial by the bacteria which are present on the antigens, so they can be detected by bacterial agglutination reactions. So the serum of patient who is suspected for the particular bacterial infection is serially diluted in the series of test tubes. Then to each test tube bacteria is added. The last tube, which shows the visible agglutination, will reflect the serum antibody titer of the patient. The titer is defined as the reciprocal of the greatest serum dilution that induces a positive agglutination reaction. तो टाइटर क्या होता है? It is defined as the reciprocal of the greatest serum dilution, ज़्यादा serum dilution को which will induce a positive agglutination reaction, then that solution is called as the titer. For example, if dilution of serum up to 1/512 shows agglutination, but 1/1024 does not, then the agglutination titer of the patient is 512. तो अगर 1/512 एग्लूटिनेशन दिखाता है तो हम लोग बोलेंगे कि वो टाइटर है, और अगर 1/1024 में एग्लूटिनेशन नहीं दिखाता है तो उस पेशेंट को हम लोग बोलेंगे कि टाइटर इज एब्सेंट. So in some cases, titer may reach up to 50,000. The agglutinins titer of an antiserum can be used to diagnose a bacterial infection.